Happy Wednesday and welcome to the sales meeting. I am AC number 2, also known as Andrew Cady. Unfortunately, Casa is on a flight right now, so he asked me with like a 4:30 a.m. text message, classic Casa, to jump in and run the sales meeting. So you get me today. I want to talk first and foremost about becoming a go-to rebound or rescue lender. I call it a rescue lender. Some people call it a rebound lender. And in this industry, I hear so many people, so many loan originators say, you don't want to make your bed in that business. That's the last thing you want to push out as a marketing piece. And personally, I couldn't agree more. Just the fact that so many people are out there saying this is not where you want to seek business from tells you that it's a big opening and there's a lot of opportunity because no one's really targeting that specific space the way they should be. I want to talk about a friend of mine that is a loan originator. I'm not going to mention any names, but this girl closes in between 50 to 70 transactions per month. And all of her business originated from being a rescue lender. I'm going to tell just a brief story behind it. So when she got into the business, she spent her time going out and prospecting turn down deals at builders, at credit unions, at banks, and real estate agents. And she met up with a loan officer from a credit union that was giving her turn down business, and she was reviewing it. Well, over a lunch conversation one day, she found out that credit union doesn't do government loans. No VA, FHA, USDA are done at the credit union. So quickly, their relationship transformed from just getting turn down deals to getting all the government deals. And in return, my friend would send back any vanilla deal, any portfolio deal, construction to perm, because she didn't have that product at the time, and they built a really good relationship. Now you fast forward a couple of years, all of the loan originators in the branch ended up using her, and then all originators in 9 different branches of this credit union ended up sending her all the business, and now she sends all the conventional deals over to them and then works all the government deals. And this girl is absolutely killing it, all from going out there. Let me say this. If you can earn a real estate agent or a builder site agent money that they would not have earned, you can have a referral for life. So you're not just going to get the turn down deals. You're not just going to get the garbage files, the second looks. If you can go in and rescue some of those, let's keep in mind, we've got 500 credit score manual underwrites, flexible guidelines, multiple lenders to choose from. A lot of these in-house lenders, especially at builders, are dealing with a retail lender that has their overlays, or they're dealing with a bank that has even tighter overlays. If you can go in and make that real estate agent or that site agent money, it opens the door for the conversation of why aren't you using me for the remainder of your business? How many other deals are getting turned down that I don't get a chance to look at that you're losing money on? So get out there. Here's my call to action to you. Get out there. Contact your local banks and credit unions. Drop by builders on the weekends. Drop by their open houses. Drop by the site agent and have the conversation with your realtors. I'll tell you briefly one thing I did that took off when I wanted to go out and do this. I created a contact card in my phone, and it had all of my information, my link to apply, my website, my phone number, my photo, everything except my name. I had no name in this contact card. What I put in place of a name was save my commission. And then I would send that contact card to real estate agents I meet and say, you don't even need to know my name. All you need to know is if you get a turn down, look up save my commission in your phone and give me a call. Screenshot that contact card, post it on your Facebook. Tell them you're not afraid to get out and get dirty and work with turn down files to earn the remainder of their business. That's topic 1. Topic 2 of what I want to talk about is learning to sell without selling. I'm going to give you just a brief stat that I found just unbelievably interesting. In 2019, 2% of auto sales were done on the internet without a salesman involved. 2%. In 2022, 30% of auto transactions are now done without a salesperson involved. And I'm sure there's a bunch of reasons why behind it. I'm sure COVID has something to do with it. But I know me personally, the last 2 vehicles I've purchased, I've done it without a salesman. And the reason for it is every time I go to a car dealership and I walk out, I feel like I need a shower. I feel like I've been sold to. I heard somebody say one time that selling is what happens when a salesperson lacks value. So how do you sell without selling? In my opinion, what you need to do is go out and meet with your referral partners, even your clients, and ask them open-ended questions, and then shut up and listen. Think about it this way. If you're sitting down with a real estate agent, rather than sitting down and pitching everything you can do, like every other lender that's out there, sit down and ask a question. How's your business growing in this market today? And then shut up and listen. And the agent may be like, well, it's a tough market, so we're kind of flat with last year. And, I have big goals, but I think we're going to be pretty level with last year. Okay, understand. Well, from a real estate agent's perspective, what's the number one frustration that you deal with when you're dealing with either a mortgage lender, a title person, a third-party vendor? Shut up and listen. Well, communication is the biggest issue, they'll say. They'll give you the answers to their questions. And then what you do is you turn their answers to their questions into a statement of, if I could, would you? At the end of your sitting down with that real estate agent, flip the script and say, if I could help you grow your business in this extremely tough market, and if I could communicate with you on a level that you would expect a professional in the mortgage industry to communicate with you, would you work with me as your preferred lender? You're going to get so much further dealing with getting out there and answering valuable questions for them, getting out there and finding their pain points and turning those pain points into a 35 to 45 second pitch to answer their problems. I'm going to kick it over to the rest of the crew. We'll be back here at the end.
Hey guys, Breon Price here with the Cincinnati branch. Today I wanted to talk about interviewing listing agents or really chasing down listing agents to grow your business. So, obviously on every real estate transaction or almost every real estate transaction, you're going to always have a buyer's agent and a listing agent. Okay. And typically we're working with the buyer's agent already. That's how we were referred the deal. Well, the listing agent is an opportunity for us to grow, our agent base, through the transaction. So in theory, if we do a really, really good job on the loan, then we should land that listing agent, as another referral partner. That's the way that I've always looked at it. So, how do we do that? Okay. Well, first and foremost, you have to look at it as, this is your time to shine. Okay. So you want to make sure that everything is done as it's supposed to. You want to be proactive in your communication. You want to, go above and beyond, right? Because, that I look at it as that listing agent is interviewing me to potentially be their new loan partner. Okay. So what milestones are we updating them at? The three that I like updating the listing agent on are when the loan application has been signed, when the appraisal has came in, and when the closing disclosure has been released to the client, the initial closing disclosure. Okay. Because in theory, those are or in practice, those are the three things that listing agents care about. They want to make sure that their clients applied. They want to make sure that the appraisal has been ordered and what day it's going to come back. And they want to know as soon as it came back. And then they want to know that that closing disclosure went out. So that way it starts the 3-day trade window. The benefit of working with us, right, is we do a lot of that stuff already and we do it very early. Okay. So I've had a lot of success with these listing agents of calling them and saying, hey, like I'm going to have the appraisal, you go under contract, today, let's assume that today is Tuesday, you go under contract today. We have the application done tomorrow. We're out of underwriting on, Thursday or Friday. And I expect to have the appraisal back next Tuesday, a week from now. And then we'll issue out the closing disclosure, at that time. On a 30-day close, we'll have the entire loan done in 10 days max. Typically, they're so wowed by that, okay, because we're setting the expectation of not only are we going to close fast, but here's the actual dates that we're working off of. How I engage this message with them, the first conversation is always done over the phone. Okay, if they don't answer, then I might text them, but really focus on having that conversation. Relationships are not built over email. They're not built over text message. They're built either over the phone or in person. Okay, so I always call, and I actually start calling listing agents at the time that my client is making an offer. Okay. So if my client's making an offer, we send out a pre-approval letter. I'll call the listing agent. Hi, my name is Breon Price with UMortgage. I'm the loan officer on your listing 123 Main Street. My client just made an offer. Wanted to walk through it with you to see if you had any questions regarding the financing. I always talk about how quickly we can close. I talk about I make sure that that's important to the seller, because right now in a really hot market, closing really fast is typically not what these listing agents want, because their client may have to find a home to buy. Okay, so having hey, we're going to get the loan clear to close in 10 days, but we'll give your client 45 days to actually close, or maybe delayed occupancy or something along those lines, is super important. It might actually help your client win the deal. And the best part is, guys, we're not the buyer's agent. Okay, so they're not necessarily negotiating with us, which means that they're going to be more forthcoming in what information they give to us. It's amazing at how many times a listing agent has told me, hey, if your client could just come up $3,000, we can actually get this thing done. Or, hey, if your client, we like the price, but we need an extra 15 days of occupancy. Perfect. Let me go and relay that information to the buyer and the buyer's agent, and let's see if we can make it happen. We got to take control of these deals. Okay. Don't leave it up to the buyer's agent directly to get this thing done. Right? Help, add value. If you do that and you get that information, that insider information to get this thing closed, you're going to look like a hero for your client and for the buyer's agent. They're going to continue to refer you deal over deal. So that's what I got. Let's try to implement this week, guys. We all have transactions going on right now. It's a perfect opportunity to win over some realtors. Thank you so much.
Hey y'all, Jennifer Galvan, the Texas Mortgage Mom here, and I just wanted to talk to you for a minute about social media and why I post and staying top of mind. So I post on social media to, basically buy brain space in my realtor partners' heads, in my past clients' heads, in clients that don't know they're going to use me yet, but they will, my future clients. And the reason that I do this is because I can stay top of mind with my posts. And then when they're ready to buy again, or they're ready to refer a client, they remember me, so this is just another piece. Obviously there's many things that we're doing as well, but staying top of mind on social media is really big for me. So some of the things that I post about, the most important thing to me is adding value. So as a person, I like to add value in my business. That's just kind of my business model, is adding value to people. And so some of the things that I post that I feel like adds value is, educational type things. So if I've had a client ask me something more than once, I will make a video out of it. And short form videos are very effective right now. And so I will post a video, usually a minute or less. Sometimes I have a little bit longer one if there's something that really needs to go into detail, or I'll break it up into multiple parts. But I will post that across 4 platforms. The 4 that I choose to use are Facebook Reels, LinkedIn, Instagram, and YouTube Shorts. And so some examples are, if I've had a client ask me more than one time about how much do I have to put down, can I get gift funds, things that seem simple to us in the industry, but other people are thinking those things too. Credit. A lot of really hot topics on credit. What's a great utilization amount to help improve your credit score? When does that, statement need to have that balance to help bump it up? Things like that just educating people on how to help themselves, how to help them get ready to buy a home. And so I'm able to kind of provide that value to them. Another thing, really big hot topic right now, are taxes and protesting and, keeping up with escrow shortages and why there are shortages. So some of those things I really like to post about, and, let people know these are the things that they're struggling with and that it's very helpful to them. Another thing that I like to post about is reviews. So at first I was really timid about this because it seems like you're bragging, but showing people that you are helping real people and other people like basically vouching for you is really big. So I will take some of my Google reviews and post them. I try to post 1 review a week just to stay on top of mind to people and let them know that it's not just me. I do help real people that, really appreciate the service that I provide. So reviews are really big for me. Another thing, all of us have seen the we sold this property, especially realtors. Realtors are bad about this. Oh, just sold $640,000 house. You know, to me, that kind of rubs me the wrong way. It's like bragging about, hey, I'm making this paycheck. So to me, I try to post with my closing pictures or closing videos, and I try to tell a story. It's not about this is the amount and this is the house. It's about I helped Bob and Sally get into this home. It's the first time that anyone in their family has owned a home. You know, they wanted a home for their kids. The schools that they were in were terrible. So we were able to get them a home where they're having great schools for their kids. So telling the story and not just showing it as a transaction, but as a relationship that you created and helping people, because people can relate to that. So that's another thing that I do. And then lastly, I try to post videos, especially using Facebook Live if I'm at an open house. So just to help boost listings for all realtor partners, even if they're not actively using me, I offer to boost their listing or relist their listing. And so doing a live at the actual property has gotten me, a lot of feedback. And so sometimes if I'm not able to get out to open houses, I'll even ask my agents, hey, send me a video of your open house, and then I'll post it on my page as well and tag it and tag them. And so that can help as well. So whatever you want to do, I think that the biggest thing you can do is just get started. Just do something and just get out there, post on social media, get your names out there. So if you need any help with that, you can definitely find a lot of great marketing materials through UMortgage, and the team is really great about helping. If there's something else you need, they'll help you with that. So just get started, just do it. Have a beautiful week, y'all.
Hi, everybody. Ian Twaddle here with the Allentown, Lehigh Valley UMortgage branch. Wanted to come talk to you guys today a little bit about making sure that you're providing value to your real estate agents or to any potential real estate agents that you want to work with, which should be everybody. So we'll start off with social media. So I'm living proof you don't have to be great at social media to generate business from social media. As long as you built up a really good reputation, you posting on social media will absolutely generate some, calls that might come in. Like when I posted about the 1% down conventional, I got a bunch of calls from agents I've never worked with. And to be honest, I didn't even know who they were at the time, but they asked a couple questions to a couple colleagues of theirs. They saw my post and they reached out to me. So that's, social media, number one. Number two, pipeline reviews with your real estate agent. So if they're sending you a lot of referrals, sometimes a referral can get lost in the mix. So they want to make sure that you're working each file, because we want to make sure we give them that certainty that every file is being worked. So every week, pipeline review, this is where all the files that you've sent me so far are at. And, this is what we're doing to move forward. Also a Zoom. So every other week I have a really big team that I work with. So we do a Zoom every other week. I'm sure I'll get a million questions about the LLPA that everyone sees on the news. So you want to be the one that's answering those questions and not some other random loan officer who's reaching out to them every Monday to try to get their business. Closing cost training. That's a big one that we started doing. So if we can meet with a team, go over what I do is I present a conventional and an FHA cost estimate, just to show them like, hey, your buyer's shopping. This is what they're seeing from lenders. So if the buyer asks the lender for the agent for advice, they know what they're looking at when they look at a cost estimate. It doesn't have to be our cost estimate, it could be another lender's cost estimate, but we want to teach them when you're looking at it, this is what to look for. And then we go into loan estimate and then CD so that they know what to look for on loan estimates and CDs. And strengthening your offer is big, especially in my market. It's really hard to get an offer accepted. So a lot of what we're talking about right now is how do we strengthen our offers? And you can make a 30, 40-minute presentation about that. Mortgage 101 with rookies. So if you have a big team, a lot of times they're bringing in rookies. It doesn't have to be a full-blown rookie. Maybe they're doing this for 6 months, 12 months. They can still learn a lot, especially from the closing cost estimate. A lot of agents, I actually did one for the office I'm in right now is my buddy Justino Arroyo. He's the one that originally asked me to do this. And then I was like, wow, it's a great idea. So I started doing it for other agents. So they love to look at closing cost estimates. So that, and everyone's talking about the LLPAs. So one of the things I'm making sure to go over with my agents is how if you're a first-time home buyer under 100% of the median area income, they're not going to be affected by these whole LLPA changes. They're actually going to be in a really good spot. That's something that they can use, that we tell them that they can use to talk to first-time home buyers to try to generate business for them. Because everything at least the way I look at it is I want to help generate business for my realtors. And impact that happens there is they want these real estate agents want the knowledge. They want to know what they're talking about when when they're speaking to clients, they don't want to have to always refer them to us. Now, I always tell them like, hey, yes, definitely refer them to me, but it's good for them to have a basic knowledge, because the more knowledge they have, the more confident they'll speak. The more confident they speak, the more their buyers are going to follow them. So anyone can do a pre-approval. I mean, almost anyone can do a pre-approval, but not everyone's going to give each agent knowledge to make sure that when they speak to their buyers, they feel really confident speaking at the mortgage side. So that's about it that I have today. If you guys have any questions, you can always hit me up. Make sure you guys go into the real estate team's meeting, set up a peer-to-peer meeting, and let's get started today.
Hi, everyone. Kahren Oxner with the Pacific Northwest team here. Welcome to our weekly sales meeting. Today, I thought it would be great to spend a few minutes talking to everybody about maintaining balance. There is so much that goes on with us every day, and how do we know if we're being busy or actually being productive? How do we maintain balance so that we can take great care of our existing clients, customers, and referral partners while generating new relationships and keeping that new business coming in? So it really is tough to find the balance and tough to stay consistent. And I've got a couple tips that I thought would be good to share with everybody that I've used over the years to really maintain a full pipeline while continuing to generate business and talk to new loan officers and new referral partners and really keep that motivation going. So the first thing that I do that I've done for years and years is time block on my calendar. So I've identified some top priority things that are very important for me to do in relation to maintaining current production levels, but also building new opportunities. So I time block every single day for marketing, for prospecting, for touching base with my existing clientele, for generating new leads. So every single day on my calendar, it's very intentional with how I make those blocks and how I set up that time so that I'm not just being reactive, but I'm being very proactive in all of my communication and all of my action, so that instead of just being busy every single day, I'm actually productive every single day. So absolutely critical to time block. The other thing is that you want to create a routine that works for you. I think, I can say this works for me, but if it doesn't work for you, then you won't do it. So finding a routine that is something that you know that you'll do, that is easy to, to sort of abide by, and just is a really good routine that you can build that consistency with, that's so important. And along those lines, finding the best times where you're at your peak for performance are also really important. Some of us are not morning people. So some of us can't, get up and be extremely productive at 7 a.m. and that's okay. So really figuring out what works best for you, and when you're at your top and feeling your best, make sure that you're fitting those times into the routine that you've created. So maintaining balance is so important to just being top performers. And that's really what we all want to strive to be, both personally and professionally. It's so important. So creating personal and professional priorities and really sticking to them is critical. So if you know that these 5 things are priorities for you personally and these 5 things are priorities for you professionally, it will allow you to stay focused on those things that are the most important big things and not be taken away or distracted by other things that, might kind of dry you off your game. So that's really important to identify those things, write them down, analyze them in order of importance, and really just try to stick to those priority things so that you can say no when something doesn't fit into that priority of boxes. The other thing that's important is to do the big things first. Don't procrastinate. Don't put off something big and important until another time. Do it now, do it right away, get it over with when you're at your highest energy levels and you're feeling the best and you're the most fresh. Do the big things first. That is critical to success. The other thing that can really help is to have an accountability partner. I have got colleagues all over the map at UMortgage that if I need some accountability, I'm going to call Nicole, I'm going to call Kristen, I'm going to call Lindsay, I'm going to reach out to these people and, have them hold me accountable so that I make sure that I am maintaining that balance, but also respecting those big priorities that I've identified so that I can be successful. Another good thing that is just such a nice habit to get into is joining the sales huddles every single week, every single day. They're every day, 11 a.m. I make that a part of my day as often as I possibly can. I try really hard not to miss those sales huddles, and that really helps keep me accountable. I do find balance. I'm able to, connect and bond with other, team members, and it just is a really great part of my day. So I urge you guys to join the daily sales huddles. If you need an accountability partner, you need any help, feel free to reach out to me. Have a great day, you guys.
Thanks, Kahren. Here's what I want to wrap up with. Anthony Casa and UMortgage as a whole has set up accountability as one of our strongest things that we rely on here at UMortgage. And I was recently at a seminar, not recently, 6 months ago, and there were some questions asked that really made me think long, deep, and hard about life. And I really want to end with this. I would challenge everyone to go out and set up a standard for yourself by taking time to truly reflect on your life, on your business, on your personal life. How often do we truly take time in silence to reflect on the decisions we make in business or even in our personal lives? You ask yourself the question, what does the NFL do on Monday morning? They watch the film of their Sunday night games. It doesn't matter if they won. It doesn't matter if they won by a landslide. They still go back and they watch their film because they have a standard that they want to hold themselves to. And even if they won, they still want to critique their own plays. And my question to you is this, is what standards have you set up in your life that you're faltering on? And be honest with yourself on these things. I was honest with myself. It may be going to the gym. If you've committed to going to the gym 5 days a week and you're only going twice because of X reason or Y reason, understand that there will always be a reason. If you've committed to waking up at 5 a.m., but you're only doing it 2 days a week because you hit the snooze button a few times, I can promise you, if you don't hold yourself to the standards you set for yourself, you're going to be the same person that says, I'm going to call you back at 4:30 and you call at 4:45, or you don't call at all. How are we going to ask people to show up for us and support us if we won't show up and support ourselves? This has nothing to do with diving in and earning more money. Honestly, this is about living a more satisfied life, a life of personal accountability. It's a mentality check. This is really about diving into having personal accountability as your mental move going forward. You can't take action in your life until you have accountability. You can't change your results unless you change your standards. Being committed to something as simple as attending the sales huddle. I'll dive into that one for a brief moment. The amount of information, as someone who's closed thousands of mortgage transactions, the amount of information I have gleaned off of the sales huddles that we have every day, to me, it's a crime that we only have 60 to 70 people show up on these sales huddles. If you commit to being on the sales huddle, commit to it. Sure, if you're on a flight, that may be the excuse for it. But if you're available, be on those things. Call to action on this is use the resources we have. We have, whether it be the sales huddle, the chat groups, the marketing, be committed to growing yourself. And in turn, you'll grow your business. You don't necessarily need to focus on your next growth strategy. Be focused on committing yourself to a standard, whatever that standard is, and the rest of it will simply follow suit. I appreciate you guys' time today. Thanks for joining us here, and have a wonderful rest of your day.